If you're over 60 and you've noticed yourself grabbing onto furniture more often, feeling unsteady when you stand up, or hesitating before taking stairs, you need to hear this. What I'm about to share could be the difference between living independently for decades or ending up in a situation nobody wants to talk about. Balance issues aren't just about getting older. That's what everyone tells you, right? Oh, you're just aging, it's normal. But here's what nobody mentions. Most balance problems in older adults are completely preventable. They happen because of specific mistakes that people make every single day without even realizing it. And the scary part? These mistakes start small. You don't notice them at first, but over time they add up, and suddenly you're that person who can't walk to the mailbox without feeling nervous. Today, we're going to the 5 biggest mistakes that destroy balance in older adults, and more importantly, how to fix them before it's too late. Let's talk about what's really going on here. Every year, 1 in 4 adults over 65 experiences a fall. But that's just a statistic until it happens to you or someone you love. Falls are the leading cause of injury and death in older adults. But here's the thing that gets me. Most of these falls aren't accidents. They're predictable. They happen because balance gradually gets worse, and people ignore the warning signs until it's too late. Your balance system is actually pretty complex. It relies on 3 main things working together: your vision, your inner ear, and something called proprioception, which is basically your body's ability to sense where it is in space. When you're younger, this system runs on autopilot. You don't think about it. But as you age, each part of the system can start to fail. And when they do, your risk of falling skyrockets. But most people don't lose their balance because of some unavoidable aging process. They lose it because they make mistakes that weaken the system over time. And these mistakes are so common that almost everyone makes them without even knowing. Let me walk you through each of these mistakes. And I want you to be honest with yourself about whether you're making them. Mistake number 1, sitting too much. This is the big one. And I know what you're thinking. Sitting can't be that bad, right? Wrong. When you sit for hours every day, something happens to your body that directly affects your balance. Your muscles, especially the ones in your legs and core, start to weaken. These aren't just any muscles. They're the exact muscles you need to catch yourself when you stumble or to keep yourself upright when you're standing. Think about it this way. Your body is smart. It adapts to what you ask it to do. If you spend most of your days sitting, your body figures it doesn't need strong leg muscles anymore, so it gets rid of them. It's called muscle atrophy, and it happens faster than you'd think. Studies show that after just 2 weeks of increased sitting, older adults can lose significant muscle strength in their legs. But there's more to it than just weak muscles. When you sit all day, your body also loses something called postural stability. This is your ability to make tiny adjustments to keep yourself balanced. You know how you can stand on one foot for a few seconds? That's postural stability at work. But if you're always sitting, your body forgets how to make those adjustments. It's like a skill you lose when you don't practice it. And here's where it gets worse. A lot of older adults fall into this trap without realizing it. Maybe you're retired, and suddenly you're not walking around an office anymore. Maybe you're watching more TV. Maybe your knees hurt, so you avoid standing. Whatever the reason, the result is the same. You sit more, your muscles weaken, your balance gets worse, and suddenly you're at risk. The fix isn't complicated, but it does require intention. You need to move more throughout the day. Do not exercise for an hour and then sit for 12. I'm talking about breaking up your sitting time. Stand up every 30 minutes. Walk to another room. Do some simple movements. Even just standing still is better than sitting because it forces your muscles to work and your balance system to stay active. Mistake number 2, avoiding movement because you're scared. This one is heartbreaking because it makes total sense on the surface. You feel a little unsteady, so you start avoiding activities that challenge your balance. You stop going for walks. You hold onto walls more. You avoid uneven surfaces. It feels like the safe thing to do. But here's the problem. The less you challenge your balance, the worse it gets. Your balance system needs to be challenged to stay strong. It's like any other skill. If you stop practicing, you get worse at it. When you avoid movement, You're essentially telling your body that it doesn't need to maintain good balance anymore. So it doesn't. This creates a vicious cycle. You feel unsteady, so you move less. Because you move less, your balance gets worse. Because your balance gets worse, you feel even more unsteady, so you move even less. And before you know it, you've gone from being a little cautious to being genuinely unable to do basic activities. There's also a psychological component here. When you start avoiding activities because you're scared, that fear grows. It becomes this monster in your head. You start catastrophizing. You imagine yourself falling and breaking a hip, and that fear makes you tense up when you do move, which actually makes you more likely to fall, because tension interferes with balance. The solution is to challenge your balance in a safe, controlled way. You don't need to go hiking on rocky trails. Start small. Practice standing on one foot while holding onto a counter. Walk in a straight line heel to toe in your living room. Stand up from a chair without using your hands. These small challenges tell your body that it needs to maintain balance abilities. And over time, they actually improve your confidence because you prove to yourself that you can do more than you thought. Mistake number 3, ignoring your vision. A lot of older adults don't realize how much their vision affects their balance. Your eyes are a huge part of how your body knows where it is in space. When your vision gets worse, your balance suffers. It's that simple. But here's what happens. Vision changes gradually as you age. Maybe you need stronger glasses. Maybe you have the beginning stages of cataracts. Maybe your depth perception isn't what it used to be. These changes happen so slowly that you don't really notice them. You adjust without thinking about it, but your balance system notices, and it struggles. There's also the issue of lighting. Older adults often don't have enough light in their homes. Maybe you're trying to save on electricity. Maybe you just don't notice that it's dim. But when you can't see clearly, your balance suffers because your brain is missing crucial visual information about your environment. And then there's the glasses problem. Some people wear bifocals or progressive lenses. These can actually mess with your balance, especially when you're walking or going downstairs, because they distort your depth perception. You're looking through the wrong part of the lens, and suddenly the ground isn't where you think it is. Here's what you need to do. First, get your eyes checked regularly, at least once a year. Make sure your prescription is up to date. If you have cataracts or other eye conditions, work with your doctor to address them. Second, improve the lighting in your home, especially in places like hallways and stairs, where falls are more likely. Third, if you wear bifocals or progressive lenses, talk to your eye doctor about getting a separate pair of single vision glasses for activities like walking or exercising. It might seem like a hassle, but it can make a real difference. Mistake number 4, not taking care of your feet. Your feet are your foundation. Everything about your balance starts with your feet. But a lot of older adults ignore their feet until they become a major problem. And by then, the damage is done. There are a few ways this happens. First, people wear bad shoes. Slippers with no support. Shoes that are too big or too small. Shoes with smooth soles that slip easily. When your shoes don't fit right or don't provide proper support, your balance suffers. Your feet can't grip the ground properly. They can't give your brain accurate information about the surface you're standing on. Second, foot problems like bunions, hammer toes, or arthritis can throw off your balance. When your feet hurt, you change the way you walk without even realizing it. You might favor one side. You might shuffle instead of taking proper steps. These changes affect your balance and increase your fall risk. Third, there's something called peripheral neuropathy. This is when the nerves in your feet stop working properly. It's common in people with diabetes, but it can happen for other reasons too. When you have neuropathy, you lose feeling in your feet. You can't tell if the ground is level or if you're about to step on something. This makes balance incredibly difficult because you're missing a key source of information. The fix starts with paying attention to your feet. Wear shoes that fit properly and have good support, even around the house. Don't just shuffle around in old slippers. If you have foot pain or problems, see a podiatrist. Don't ignore it. And if you have conditions like diabetes that can cause neuropathy, manage them carefully and check your feet regularly. You might also benefit from balance exercises that specifically train your feet and ankles to be more stable. Mistake number 5, not addressing medication side effects. This is the one that catches people off guard. You're taking medications to stay healthy, but those same medications might be destroying your balance. And nobody tells you about it. A lot of common medications can affect your balance. Blood pressure medications can make you dizzy when you stand up. Sleep medications can leave you groggy and unsteady. Anti-anxiety medications can affect your coordination. Pain medications can slow your reaction time. Even some antihistamines can make you feel off balance. The problem is that doctors often prescribe these medications without really explaining the side effects. Or they explain them, but you forget. Or the side effects don't seem like a big deal until you nearly fall down the stairs. And if you're taking multiple medications, which many older adults are, the effects can compound. One medication makes you a little dizzy. Another makes you a little slow to react. And suddenly your balance is seriously compromised. There's also the issue of medications making you more sedated or tired. When you're tired, you're less alert. Your reaction time is slower. You're more likely to stumble or trip because you're not paying full attention to where you're going. This is especially dangerous at night, when you might get up to use the bathroom and you're still half asleep from your medication. Here's what you need to do. Make a list of all your medications, including over-the-counter drugs and supplements. Take that list to your doctor and specifically ask about balance-related side effects. Ask if any of your medications could be contributing to dizziness, fatigue, or coordination problems. Sometimes there are alternative medications that work just as well but have fewer balance-related side effects. Sometimes your doctor can adjust your dosage or the timing of when you take certain medications to minimize the impact on your balance. And never stop taking a medication without talking to your doctor first. But do have that conversation. Your doctor needs to know if your medications are affecting your quality of life or putting you at risk for falls. Here's the reality that nobody wants to face. These 5 mistakes don't just affect your balance. They affect your entire life. When your balance gets bad enough, you start limiting yourself. You stop going out as much. You give up activities you used to enjoy. You become dependent on other people for things you used to do yourself. Your world gets smaller and smaller. And if you do fall, the consequences can be devastating. Hip fractures, head injuries, broken bones. But even if you don't get seriously injured, the fear that comes after a fall can be just as damaging. Studies show that after a fall, many older adults develop a fear of falling that stops them from being active, which leads to more deconditioning, worse balance, and a higher risk of falling again. But here's the good news. Every single one of these mistakes is fixable. You're not stuck with a bad balance just because you're getting older. If you address these 5 mistakes, you can dramatically improve your balance, reduce your fall risk, and maintain your independence for years to come. Conclusion. Let me summarize what we've covered because this is important. The 5 mistakes that destroy balance in older adults are sitting too much, avoiding movement out of fear, ignoring vision problems, neglecting your feet, and not addressing medication side effects. Each of these mistakes seems small on its own, but together, they create the perfect storm for balance problems and falls. The good news is that once you know about them, you can take action, move more throughout the day, challenge your balance in safe ways, take care of your vision and your feet, talk to your doctor about your medications. Balance isn't something that just gets worse as you age. It's something you can maintain and even improve with the right approach. But you have to be intentional about it. You have to recognize these mistakes and make the choice to fix them. If this helped you, make sure you're subscribed for more content on staying healthy and independent as you age.